Alright everyone, admittedly did not have a video idea or plan for today, but of course we can't just skip a week, so I'm showing you the next game. This game comes out in July, it's currently on version 0.9. All that's missing are mainly some tweaks or minor changes and some kind of onboard process. If you have an idea for an onboarding process, after seeing this, by all means, throw your ideas down below. And if you don't know what an onboarding is, all that is some way to tell the user basically how to play. In the last game, we just had a how-to menu. You can click through a few slides to get yourself an idea. I'll just load up. Let's go with this slot 3. And the basic idea of this game is we have a 90s pawn shop, not necessarily legal goods, and we have all these different people that come in. A lot of them are unknown, but there are a couple named characters. Not only that, we have a negotiation system, right? So we can take a look. We see his mood is confident, patience, relaxed. He didn't come in with an offer, so he just threw it on the table and said, make me an offer. What would you pay for this? I can see without doing anything, we have an obvious marks. We've got 2 noted. The deal read is questionable, so he might be a little suspicious. Let's go ahead and inspect. Honestly, I don't remember what tools I have unlocked on this save from testing, but we could take a look. Based on my findings, I have a medium confidence of about 300 to 535 in value. Condition, mint. You see, based on my tools now, I can see that this watch is stolen. Mint condition, tool results none, loop, no issues found. So the fact that it's stolen, I could buy it. It would increase my heat, but I could purchase it in order to make a profit. Let's go ahead. Let's offer 300 to 536. Let's offer 343 here. Hit the offer button. He knows it's worth more. He wants me to pay 592. That is above my estimation that we have here. I'm not feeling that. How about 453, sir? No. 562. I still not feeling 478, sure. And as you see there, he was not happy with the negotiations. How many times you can negotiate is based off of their things like mood and patience. So that combination there. And as you might have seen there, he also reported the shop. Reporting increases heat. The higher your heat, imminent is the highest. The increased chance of your shop being raided. Now, when you get raided, the cops show up. They search your inventory. And if they find something you're not supposed to have, maybe something stolen, fake documents, etc., they will confiscate them and you will be fined. Now, that being said, they do not have a guarantee of finding what is in your storage. And you can get upgrades to increase and get other storage, let's say. But they only have percentage chance of finding certain items. So there's a chance that they don't find anything. Maybe they find one thing. Or you could get extremely unlucky and they find everything. The find that you get is based off of what they find and how much they find. You can, of course, just outright accept. Looks like we got an action figure here. He's in a rush, so we probably can't negotiate too much with him. 558. That looks low, but we do have a low confidence as well, so he's probably going to scam me a little bit here. Risk is clean, so it's not stolen or anything. Let's just straight out accept it. And we can take a look in here. So we can grab what we have. We can see what we paid for, how much storage it's taking. Condition worn. It's clean though, so it's not stolen. We can contact the buyer and we can take a look at what we have. We have a collector by default who would pay 462, and we have the street buyer who would pay 366. So either way, at the moment, I cannot make a profit with this boxed action figure. But if I wanted to, I can go ahead and select the buyer that I want, hit sell, and there we go. With that, we make our money. Now, for the buttons across the bottom, we have the ledger here, which kind of has your life stats, right? So your day, cash, debt, heat, how much storage and stash you have, the lifetime cash earned, your biggest flip, how many raids you've survived, how many hot goods you've moved, and the occult items. Next icon, of course, is our storage. We can discard an item and throw it away if we want. We can just close out. We can inspect, which would give us a similar, basically the same kind of information that we see when negotiating. Next is our phone menu, which just shows all the contacts that we currently have. You can unlock several contacts over the course of the game. Next up, we have our loan section, so you can see based off of these, you can borrow a set amount, then you have to repay the money by a certain date, and if you go over that, then you have an overdue fee, so you got to pay even more back on it. Our next option here are the upgrades that we got. So the tools will help us get higher confidence, discover more issues and more marks, etc. with all these different items. Our storage upgrades, so we can increase our storage, unlock the stash, and so on. Legitimacy. Right, so for example, the License Frontier, we can see it helps lower pressure. It doesn't get rid of heat, but it helps lower the pressure, so you're reducing your odds of being raided. All upgrades you get the next day, so you pay now, get them next day. Some of them will increase your bills, and you can see in this case you get -1 to your heat pressure with no requirements. Whereas something like this or this, you can see +16 to daily bills. That's quite a bit when you're starting out, but we also get -2 heat pressure, but we have a requirement of needing the receipt printer. So we're just making the shop feel a little more legitimate. And then we have intel upgrades. Now here we can see I've got the pager alerts. I can get street rumor network, but I cannot get the market ledger access. And we can see this increases bills quite a bit. +5, +10, +15. And this intel is actually in the next panel that we have here, which is our news. So without any upgrades, you just get this vague news block here, which just says documents are moving. With that first upgrade for a pager, we can just see, we see here documents are up, so we get a little less vague of a message. And as we finally work through those upgrades, the message that appears on this sticky note is going to be less and less vague. So by the time you get the upgrades, you'll have exact percentages of what's going on with the market. So the value of items do fluctuate. And of course, on the right-hand side, we have the inspect that we looked at. We have the offer, accept, reject, and our pause. Saves happen automatically at the start of each day. Let's take a look with this guy, 126. No deal, walked out, reported, unfortunate. Each day lasts, at the moment, about 10 minutes. If you feel that's too long, by all means, let me know. I'm still kind of up in the air about 10 minutes. It feels maybe a little long, but in this downtime, you could be looking at your upgrades or dealing with your inventory and etc. Right? So thinking about like that, 10 minutes doesn't seem too bad. Now, when customers show up, it is at random intervals. What do we have here? We have a sealed VHS tape. Yeah, it's sealed all right. Wax seal. There's one note, or sorry, one mark. Questionable read. He is confident and relaxed though. Let's take a look. Suspicious. Good condition, but I got low confidence. So low confidence means my range is probably not great. The value is within there somewhere, hopefully. He's asking for 892. That is on the high end, so I'd probably try and get him to go lower. We have unreadable marking, so I'll go 640. Got a counter offer of 847. I don't know, man. 7. 805. 740. No deal. Okay, so that time he did not report. He just left the shop. So we're going to see when the day finishes out here. We're going to see maybe we get a raid. And we should, but not guaranteed, get one of our daily events. Now, our events, there are over, in total, 186 events to begin with. Some of them are story related, which are have to do with specific context. Some of them are repeatable and happen multiple times. Some of them are just one-offs. What do you got here? We got a camcorder. You're on edge. You're asking for 51 bucks. You're nervous. Suspicious. 61 to 78. It's broken, bud. It's broken. 30 bucks. Thank you. Can we make a profit with that? Contact. So I will say, heads up here. If we do get a raid, there is going to be flashing lights. So that's your warning here for when that happens. But if you can't deal with lights, you can come on down, and I've got to get rid of particle count because there are none. But we do have flashing effects that you can turn off, which will just give you a static light rather than the flashing red and blue. So you can turn those off. Hot 600, 944. And you're asking for 430, something suspicious in there. I'll take that though. Contact. Oh, that's the end. No raid, but we do have our end of day. End of day, we started with 5,000, purchased 1,000, only made 500 in sales. My bills are at 45. The default amount is 40 per day. And then your upgrades, of course, increase that. So, unfortunately, we lost money at the end of the day. We don't owe any money. Let's continue. And we had no events. So, with this being a new day, the save file had just saved. And I went ahead and just changed how long the day is to 15 seconds. That way we can show you some raids and some of the events. So I'll just let that go ahead, run out. While I'm at it, let's take a look at that drive. 437. I can make 548 from the street buyer. Fantastic. We got a nice profit. There we go. We got a raid. So again, we got our flashing red and blue. You have the option to turn that off. They found something should not have kept. So they found one item. I got fined $100. Heat increased by 6. And then our end of day. All right, so we had no events going that time. This guy, get out of here. Let's just kick him out. Let's see if we can get an event. So again, be aware. Flashing lights. I'll come down and I'll turn that off just in case we get that again. You can see the difference. Get out of here, sir. There we go. So you can see now with this, we just have a static red light. Why I went with red instead of blue? Because as a gamer, naturally, you're going to associate red bad. And you see this time, they found nothing, so no fine. End of day, no events. Huh. That's interesting. 2 days in a row. That's possible. So I'll go ahead and wait a moment. Okay, so we went ahead and now we got one of our events that triggered a tip-off warning. A whisper says your rival is feeding names to enforcement. So we can either push through it, ignore it, just let it go, or we could try and tighten up our routes. Now, some of these will cost money. So the question is, are you willing to tighten? You know what? Let's tighten it this time. You slow down and reduce the obvious trail. Now, you see there, that cost a little bit of money. That one cost $90, so not too bad. The money that gets used for those decisions aren't too bad. I do try to keep it fairly low. It might be a little hard-hitting in the early game if you get some of them. And as you see, with heat imminent, I am getting rated a lot. Just about every day now. You can reduce the heat by selling only safe goods. If you only sell safe goods for the day, then you will get heat reduced every day. So for example, let's take a look. Let's get this guy out of here. Next person comes in. Also notice that I had a bug in there. Yeah, keep going, whatever. We take a look, we see the risk is hot, whatever, we'll buy it for now. And we see this little dot here indicates how hot an item is. So this is orange, pretty hot. Red would be forbidden. And then we have yellow as another sticker. That also plays into how much you pay on your fine. So you see there, that was hot item. I had to pay $2,000 on that. So that's something you want to get rid of immediately, early on, once your heat gets high. So the only items that you can sell that are considered safe has that green sticker on it. If you have that, you only sell green items. So if you sell at least one and sell nothing else, only safe, your heat will go down slowly day after day. You can buy hot items, stolen items, and things like that, but buying those increases your heat a bit, so you should probably avoid that to reduce heat the fastest. Some events will help reduce your heat as well. So you do have methods for reduction. All right, now if you're wondering what happened there, why it ended, we got sent back to the main menu. We basically had a game over. We can see with this save, we're at negative money. Man, we blew through a lot with those fines. It was that 2,000 one that really got us. But going through, basically if you go into negative, there's an event that can trigger to help you out. But if you've already triggered, or you've already had this event happen, your file gets a flag on it, and you won't get that offer again. So it is going to be a one-time offer. And if you are still negative at the end of the day, you basically have your game over. So that's where loans can come in to kind of bail you out as well. So make sure you got that incentive to kind of pay that back, especially early game. But that's it. That's the gist of the game. Now, I could technically load in here. We are negative, so if I think I could come back from this, I could come in, but if I'm still negative when the day ends, I'm screwed. And we can see here, I can do this for 2,000. I'm still negative $10, so that's still going to give us that game over because we are under. It's just how it is. So if you don't have the money, you can't dig yourself out. That's what it is. It's time to start a new game. But that's it. That's the game, the general loop, what's going on. Again, if you have any onboarding ideas, then by all means, let me know down in the comments. The only idea I've got here, at the moment, because I don't want to go with those slides, but I think I should have an onboarding. All I was thinking is basically just having darkening the screen here and going over what each button is with maybe a text pop-up or something to let the user know what each button does. But in general, that's it. That's the game loop. There are, I think I've got 16 achievements, and again, 186 different events. That's the game, Blackwater Exchange. Wishlist it on Steam. There'll be a link in the comments, as long as I remember, and at the top of the video description. That's it. Take care. Have yourselves a good one. I'll see you guys next week.